So do you watch Rampage or Collision or any other show? What shows do you watch?
All of them.
All of them?
It's the job, yeah. So pretty much anything. Well, I mean, no main event, or I've had to eliminate Ring of Honor because I mean, no one cares. I don't know why they haven't eliminated Ring of Honor, but all the.
No, we had a letter from some Mark called something ROH, Rick ROH or something.
Right.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Well, why are you guys so anti-RH?" I go, "Because yeah, they used to be good, like when Low Key and Samoa Joe and all those guys were there, and they used to be trendsetters. Bro, there's no buzz, no good angles you could tell me about. Like, why would you even follow them, right?"
There's one, Athena and Billy Starks, and when I was still watching, that was really good, and I kind of just pay attention to reports on it. I've got a guy, Sam Robinson, does a weekly report, and I read that. And that sounds intriguing. I don't know why it's behind the paywall of Honor Club when it should be on their weekly AEW shows. But yeah, and then when they launched this, I'm like, all right, I can do one more hour of weekly television as long as it matters. And instead, it's this weird collection of 10 to 14 matches. They're keeping their audience there forever. This is not worth it. He needs to just give up on it.
And you always know who's going to win. It's always like a name against some J-Brone.
Yeah, it's not good. I just lost interest, and nobody's asking, like, why aren't you watching Ring of Honor? Nobody.
Because it reminds me of when WWE tried to run an ECW show years later. And it was like, it started with a few guys people would know, and then it just became, younger guys that they wanted to push. They got rid of the guys like Dreamer and whoever. And Ring of Honor started like that. It had some names would come over, and now it's just like they're young guys. It's not Ring of Honor. I'm gonna throw
a couple shows at you, Jason, because I watch every show just like you do. Okay. And I want you to give me 2 or 3 words or sentence or whatever on the show, what you feel about it, and maybe 1 or 2 standout people. Okay. Impact.
Good storytelling. Easy watch. I like Josh. I mean, the top people there, Josh Alexander, Alex Shelley. And then they need to do better with the ABC duo. I think those guys are great, but Bullet Club doesn't mean anything anymore. Please let them be something else. Come up with something original.
You mean Austin Ace and Chris Bay? Or
yes. Yeah. I don't know why we're still doing Bullet Club.
I helped train Bay, by the way. I helped train Bay.
I think he's great. Yeah, I like those kids a lot.
Excellent.
And a good women's division too. They get more out of their women's division than pretty much any other company. It's a well-booked product. I wish I didn't like some of the Undead Realm nonsense, but that
that and when they used to do the poker games, remember that?
Yeah. They need like when all this talk was like the NWA and even Dave Marquez were talking to CW, Impact's name never came up, and I'm like, how can that be? It's just a product that needs more eyeballs. It's a
and it's a good product.
So many people complain about AEW's booking, and I think for good reason. If those people are actually watching Impact, I think they'd be satisfied based on what I hear their complaints are. Because
they've been doing a good job. Now, before I get to let me get to that company, NWA.
Gave up. I really did. I just there's only so much time in a day. I had to just scale back on it. So that's one that I don't watch.
Anybody that stands out there that you remember?
I mean, there's a couple of when Aldis was there, obviously, EC3 is always a talent. But I like guys like Trevor Murdoch, but I just, even if it gets CW, I'm just like, I don't see this working.
But let me ask you a question. So that spot that they did, did that get them kicked off for having a TV show?
I don't know. No, I don't think they were ever going to have a TV show. I think it was going to be a streaming deal on the CW app. And I think it's the weirdest thing that whole, if people really watched it and were offended by it, that's their choice. I'm not saying whether they should or shouldn't be, but the people that were complaining about it the most did not watch that show. Yeah. Right. It's just being tattletale online trolls.
Yeah.
Right.
It's Jason wanted to roll before Dynamite. It's about 5 off, Jason, if you want to.
Yeah, I got right up until the start time. Whatever you guys want to do now.
All right, real quick.
We'll wrap it up because we got to record a bunch of other stuff here too. So
yeah, whatever works for you guys.
Real quick, Rampage.
Needless. Too many just meaningless matches.
Right.
The matches just don't. Some weeks are better than others.
Right. They don't matter.
Plus, Collision killed it.
It's a wasted hour. And if we're going to talk Collision, lacks an identity. It had one when Punk was there. It's gone. I'm in favor of a brand split at this point. I really am.
Yeah.
Right. Dynamite.
Chaotic, entertaining. Some weeks, it depends on the week. It's still their flagship. I still look forward to it. But by the time it's over, there's plenty of times where I'm like, man, this could have been better if they just done this or this. The booking needs to get better. It does. It's just kind of all over the place.
He needs help. He's booking way too many shows and running a football team and a soccer team. Like anybody that's done the football job and the soccer job,
yep,
that knows about wrestling booking, bro. It's difficult to book one show. The amount of time you have to put in a week, and he's doing 3 or 4 now with Ring of. It's like, it's just like.
And the worst part is that Jason, if you remember, he, Tony Abbey's been a fan for a long time, probably read every wrestling book. He said, I'm not going to make the same mistakes, that WCW did. But Eric, one of the biggest things he said was, I shouldn't have taken on Thunder. You know, like they want to give me another show in Mexico. And I'm like, bro, I need help. I can't do 2 shows by myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he's doing 3.
There's a clip out there when they started of him saying like, oh, you can't just sign everybody. You've got to be selective with your roster. What happened to that? I mean, he signs
over
everyone.
200 people there.
Yeah, he got
and
signed
tries
happy.
to justify Ring of Honor. Well, it creates jobs. Okay, but that's nice, but it's still a needless show that's taking way too much of your time and killing those Collision towns. They go there to see Collision. They don't go there to see a bonus 14 matches.
Right.
And he signed at debut too many guys close together, like as far as Punk, Bryan, and Cole. They all came in 2-3 weeks. There's no one left. I don't think that anyone's going, ooh, what's going to happen when AW signs them? They did it already. There's no one left that fan base is going to go crazy over. At least,
maybe
unless it's like Roman or Randy or something.
Yeah, I mean, and if McIntyre were to leave, that would obviously be a big deal. Yeah. I don't know that if I'm WWE, I'm not letting that guy go.
No. But if they're writing great for him right now.
Yeah.
Say that again.
They're writing great for him right now, and he's delivering.
Yeah, he's
a real good character. Right. Yeah. Yeah, they're on fire.
Yo, what up? This is Conan, and I host Keeping It 100, my co-host, Disco Inferno, unfortunately.
Well, I'd say you're my co-host.
Listen, every Thursday here on Spreaker, we talk pro wrestling, sports, movies, music, TV, pop culture, and some politics. It's everything the rest of the pro wrestling podcasts are not.
Tune in to hear myself, the superior one, educate and inform.
Tune in to hear me bury Disco.
That's very disrespectful.
Join us every Thursday on Spreaker and keep it 100. Boom!